Have you ever traveled and held a stack of local currency in your hand? You exchange $100 USD, receive a whole stack of money in return, and can go shopping and eat for an entire month without running out. It feels like you're a millionaire. But in reality, you're still you. It's just that the currency you're holding has a lower value. Look at this number, $36 trillion USD. That's the total US public debt, and it increases by $1 million every 40 seconds. And yet, the USD is still the strongest currency in the world. This sounds completely illogical, doesn't it? The question is, who decides the value of money? Why can $1 USD buy 3 meals in Vietnam, but only half a cup of coffee in the US? This video will change the way you think about money forever. 5. Shocking truths about money. No economic knowledge needed. 1. Printing more money doesn't mean collapse. When the COVID-19 pandemic hit, the US government printed trillions of USD to support its people. I remember receiving 200, then 600, then 400. My whole family received it. But the USD remained stable and is still used all over the world. In contrast, in countries like Venezuela or Zimbabwe, when the government printed more money, inflation exploded, and the currency lost so much value that people had to use wheelbarrows full of cash to buy a loaf of bread. So what's the difference? It's not that printing more money means the currency will collapse, but what's important is the trust in the economy and the government behind that currency. 2. Trust determines value. Money has no intrinsic value. It only has value because others are willing to exchange something of real value for it. Look at Bitcoin. It has no government, no bank behind it, but at one point, one Bitcoin was worth $110,000 USD. Why? Because millions of people trusted it. But with just one tweet from Elon Musk, the price of Bitcoin could plummet. Money is the same. If one day people no longer trust the USD, it will also become a worthless piece of paper. 3. A strong currency is not one with a high exchange rate. There are currencies with a higher value than the USD by a factor of 3. For example, the Kuwaiti dinar, 1 dinar, 3.2 USD. But can you use dinar to buy Starbucks in Los Angeles? Of course not, because no one accepts it outside the Middle East. A strong currency is not a currency with a high exchange rate, but a currency that the whole world trusts and uses widely. 4. The rich hold assets, the poor hold cash. The poor often keep cash in their wallets or in a savings account at the bank. The rich, however, hold assets like houses, land, stocks, or gold. They aren't smarter than you, but they understand inflation. When inflation occurs, the $100 USD you have today might only buy goods worth $70 a year from now. You will see this clearly when you go to the market or supermarket. But the value of a house, land, or stocks can increase over time. 5. The value of labor is determined by the currency you receive. For the same job and the same hour of labor, a person in the US might earn $20, $30 USD, while a person in Africa or Asia only receives $1 USD. It's not that they work worse. It's because the currency they are paid in has a lower value. That's why working hard doesn't always make you richer. What's important is where you are and what currency you are paid in. Where does money's value come from? Money's value comes from trust. Since 1971, the USD is no longer backed by gold. The 100 bill you are holding only has value because the US government and its Federal Reserve say it has value and people believe it. If one day this trust collapses, the money will become worthless paper. This trust is not just placed in the currency, but also in the government, the legal system, and the entire economy behind it. The value of money also comes from its prevalence. More than 90% of global commercial transactions use USD. Whether you buy oil, goods from China, or send money home, the USD is the common currency. This prevalence makes the USD sought after, and the more people want it, the more its value increases. And the most important factor is the power of the issuing nation. The US has the largest economy, the strongest military, and global influence. Therefore, even in times of crisis, when other currencies collapse, people still flock to the USD as a safe haven. That is something no other currency has. This knowledge will help you understand the game. Don't miss out. Click subscribe and keep watching to discover the hidden secret behind the true value of money. Money is power. Injustice and a political game. 1. Global injustice. 2. Money is a political weapon. The US can print more money to spend because the whole world still needs USD, but if a small nation like Sri Lanka prints more money, they will face inflation and crisis. The power of the USD is also shown by the fact that the US can cut a country off from the SWIFT international payment system, preventing them from global transactions. No military needed, no bombs needed, just cut off access to the USD. That's when you realize money is not just a tool for shopping, it is also a political weapon. 3. Money does not have eternal value. The rich no longer trust paper money as they used to. They buy real estate, invest in gold, stocks, or even Bitcoin. They understand that true value is not in the paper, but in things that others cannot print more of. What about normal people? They work, get paid, and keep money in their accounts. But if that currency loses value every year, they are getting poorer without even knowing it. Remember the story of the German family who buried a chest of savings enough to buy 3 houses. After 50 years, they dug it up and only got back a pile of worthless paper, just enough to buy a few loaves of bread. Money does not have eternal value. If you don't make it grow, it will disappear, even if you bury it underground. The lesson about money. Money is what we see, work for, and dream about every day. But after all, money only has value when others agree that it has value. The $100 bill you have today can buy a luxurious dinner in New York. But if tomorrow no one accepts it anymore, it will just be a beautiful, worthless piece of paper. History has proven this has happened many times. So the real question is not, how much money do you have? But rather, what are you putting your trust in? If one day the currency you're holding loses its value, what do you have left to exchange with the world? Please leave a comment and share this video if it makes you think differently about money. Don't forget that I am calling for a donation of 1 channel subscription to fund the next interesting knowledge video. Thank you for your sponsorship. I wish you and your family luck, happiness, and success in life. Most importantly, good health and peace.